Hello, how are you doing today? It is time for some more Haven SMP lore. I'm really excited about what we have planned for today, so stay tuned. Alright, let's see. Got everything up, got everything running. Let's jump into it. There we go. That's certainly not looking good. I think it would behoove us to take a look at that, wouldn't you say? I think it warrants another trip. If it's growing at that rate, whatever it is. It certainly looks worse, to say the least, than when we in Jackdaw first saw it. Have you run across things like this before? I know we've seen certain similar things, but I don't know, I think it would be worth investigating. Hello?
So are these your employees?
No, well, this one seems to have volunteered itself, but, this one chased me in the other night, and I was hoping that once I have a potion making set up, I would be able to cure it.
It seems like a bit of a hazard, but it also seems difficult to move.
Yes, that was about my, the conclusion that I came to as well.
Yes. Hello, Gawain.
Hello, Deep Sleep. What are you doing in my waypoint?
Well, not to criticize, but the door is literally wide open. I assume this place is open to the public.
It is, but I assumed that you, don't customarily frequent things built by curse breakers.
That's a fair assumption.
Mm.
Gawain, here's the thing.
Yes.
I've heard some upsetting news.
Upsetting.
And I I'd like to know some more about it, but the last time I came here and investigated, let's say gently, um
Investigated.
I came off, yeah, I came off a little harsh. And I was a bit embarrassed since you were clearly different from my first impression. So, um I'd like to ask some questions, but I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. Is that fair?
I am not entirely. You seem to be offering me the benefit of a rather, how would you say, paltry benefit of doubt here.
Well, what I've heard is certainly unpleasant, but again, it sounded unpleasant last time and I overreacted.
All
So,
right.
it is only polite of me to avoid doing the same thing.
I respect someone who could admit to their mistakes.
I try my best to be. Um, Here's the thing. I heard about a seance, is how it was put to me, where a friend of mine that you may be familiar with briefly lost
Mm-hmm.
control of their body. Um when I first heard about this, it sounded unpleasant. They certainly didn't seem happy about it, but I wanted to get some more information from a direct source. So I assume you know what I'm talking about.
More information. Well, uh, as I told you last time, I'm bound by rules of confidentiality. I can only discuss that kind of thing with you if the person in question has given me permission or given you permission.
Well, Moth literally told me what happened, so I assume that counts as some level of permission.
All right, tell me what happened, and I'll tell you. Uh,
From what I heard, you ran a ritual at Moth's Spit. Would you mind if we leave? This gentleman is being a bit noisy.
no, not at all. I do have to get him out of the waypoint.
Yeah,
I'll probably have to
seems like a bit of a
solicit
hazard.
help with that.
I could give you a hand if you need it.
Maybe after we've had our conversation.
Very fair, very fair. As I was saying, from what I heard, you performed a ritual at Moth's request.
I
I
did.
heard that a certain individual that I am to bad terms with was present, which was the main point of concern for me. And the other point of concern was that Moth, apparently in trying to contact the former host of its body, lost grip on its own identity and was overtaken by said former host. Said former host ran around, tried to kill August, which seems somewhat sensible to me, and eventually was put back into his place. So that is the extent of what I was told. Um, it doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound particularly condemning on your behalf. It was something requested, but I would like more information if possible.
Why? Who is being? Is this an oversight to see if my curse breaking is uh within the acceptable boundaries to you? Is this out of concern for Moth? Is this out of concern for the community at large? I don't want to give you information until I know how you're using it.
That is a very fair and justified response. Um, it is not out of a concern for your curse breaking skills. In this particular instance, it sounds like a request was made of you. Are there chickens in my house again? Hold on.
This seems like a common
As
tune.
listen, I've been the victim of many pranks. Okay, no, we're good. Just come up and hang out with these coffins, I guess.
Oh, Jesus.
It sounds it's you're in a funeral home.
Oh, I was gonna ask if you sleep in these.
No, I mean they're not designed to be comfortable. They're designed to look good. They don't really have much cushioning. Anyways, it sounded
Economical.
like it sounded like you were requested to do a service and you provided that service. It did not have
Yes.
the anticipated result, but I do not blame you for that. That said, I am asking this out of concern for Moth because as a result of the awareness that their host is still alive, I fear that they have been taken by some self-indulgent and self-destructive.
I see. If you're... I did perform what was asked of me, and I do not believe that it is lessened any of Moth's hold on their body outside of the scope of that circle and that ritual. It's not the sort of thing that can follow. It's a small piece of magic, comparatively. And not the kind of thing that clings. Everything that happens in my ritual chambers is confined to them by design. Uh,
Very responsible of you.
I recognize that Moth is in a complicated predicament for someone. It's complicated to have awareness of bringing suffering to someone by being alive.
Yes.
And that is, well, that I don't think that that is a side effect of my ritual, if that's what you're asking, aside from the fact that their host was revealed to still be there by the ritual. I don't know if I have for any further information that would be. I mean, the main aim of the ritual is to see if there was anything there Moth wanted to know. And well, we figured it out.
There is no fault in performing the service that has been requested of you. Then I really only have one other concern.
Yes.
Why was August allowed to be a part of this?
Happenstance primarily. They happened to be there when Moth came, and Moth didn't ask them to leave.
That is very believable. And I mean that non-sarcastically. If that is what you are telling me happened, given all the information I currently have, I believe you 100%.
That is. I didn't see it as. I find August a. August doesn't disrupt my. Well, August is not a hindrance to my rituals, except for when. Well, I mean, there was the anathema almost killing August matter, which would have caused problems if Moth's host, anathema.
I see. Go on, my apologies.
That would have caused problems, but I stepped in and nobody got killed. But August wasn't there for any other purpose other than they happened to be there and they were curious, and Moth seemed amenable to them being there. They're friends.
I see. Well, then, I suppose there is no fault to be found in your workings here. Thank you for answering my questions.
You're welcome. I would ask you some in return.
How bold? Let's hear it.
I have two questions, and I suppose one of them is more of a bargain than a question. So I'll lead with that. I know that you don't like August. I know that you haven't met August yet. I know that I've heard from other people that you have spoken of having plans of some kind for August when you meet, and you've told me as much. And I would like you not to. I would like you not to hurt August. And I'm willing to cooperate with you in so much as you seem to be setting yourself up as some sort of chancellor, some sort of something to Lux or to whatever system of, and to Moth, to whatever system of government is being put into place here. And I have questions about that, but I'm willing to treat you like somebody who can... You've been treating me like somebody that you have power over, and I'm willing to humor that if you don't hurt my friend. And if you don't play the kinds of games that you've played with me.
You have asked for too much. But I will make some concessions.
Some concessions.
We're going to make a bargain, you and I.
Yes.
I'm going to get certain things out of it, and you're going to get certain things out of it.
All right.
I think I understand the requests that you are making, and I have my own for you going forward. I do not mind if you do not care for me as the title that Lux has afforded me is Royal Advisor. It seems a bit dramatic, if you ask me. I prefer just an outreach officer at most.
I see.
I've been doing my best to bring people here and have them all be together. Would you like to go downstairs? We've been standing next to these coffins for a while.
It's rather,
We'll find our way
fit
down.
on the staircase.
I am not going to tell you how to feel about me. That would be preposterous.
Oh, hang on. One sec. Deep sleep. I just realized that I'm still in creative. Can you take me out of creative?
Oh, shit. Yeah, totally.
I have not noticed this whole stream. Oops.
Just start fucking flying and shooting laser beams at me at any time.
I was like, why did that block break so fast?
What block did you break?
I couldn't get down the ladder, so I broke a block of your floor. And then I was like, where did it go? And
I'll fix it later.
Sorry.
I'll fix it later.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Alright.
What was I saying? Yes, I'm not going to tell you how to feel about me. That would be, egotistical and selfish. You are free to, feel about me in any way you desire. I hope we can reach an agreement that is positive for you, but if you choose to dislike me, then all power to you. That said, I will continue to function in the way that I have, with the promise that I will not bring physical harm to August in any way.
Alright.
I have some more requests, but that is absolute. I will not harm, injure, or kill August in any way.
Deep sleep will not harm, injure, or kill August in any way.
In any
physical
manner.
Physical manner. Does this include threat of physical injury?
I will not make threat of physical injury as I cannot carry it out.
Does it include threatening August through other people?
That is rather crass, in my opinion.
That's not an answer.
I am not one to take hostages, if that is what you're asking. No, I will not threaten August through their associates.
I was more, well, that's not. August, he will not threaten August through other people. The question that I was more asking was using other people to threaten August. I mean, for example, I know there are mercenaries.
Amber, that is fair. Would we work a clause into this if we happen to be at some kind of armed larger conflict? I don't want August to be contractually immortal, especially if they decide to, I don't know, start burning down people's houses. But I do promise to not physically threaten them in any way, using other people that I pay off or request. Um, it, none of that in a coercive or intimidating manner.
All right. And what do you want from me?
I want you. I want you to do something very simple. Look at me. I want you. Wake the fuck up! Look around.
I'm looking.
Gawain, listen to me. I know a great deal about where you're from.
About the bone paths.
And I know. Yes, I know the situation that the people of your realm are facing.
How?
Is I'm exceptionally well traveled. Um, like I said, I've met curse breakers in the past. Do you think I did that without going to where they're from?
You haven't met curse breakers like me.
True, but they at least came from the same places, you know. And I understand. Listen, I understand why they're like that. That place is brutal. I understand what needs to be done, and while I may take exception to some of the curse breaking practices, I do understand that in that environment, the things that you do are not only necessary for your survival, but for the continued survival of life in that realm in general. I
Yes.
understand. I really do. That said, you are not there anymore.
No.
You are here. And there is a good chance that you may never go back. I'm sorry, but that is the truth that we're all facing. So, I need you to shift your perspective a little bit.
How so?
Building a community, and believe it or not, I actually do want you around. I want us all to be together.
All right.
Even you. You are not a. You aren't a bad person. You just have my own biases. That's the extent of it.
Damning
So
with
I
faint
want
praise.
I want you to be safe. I want you to be with other people, and I want you to have a happy life, even if I'm gonna be cranky about it. Thing is, if you're going to be part of this community, you need to be aware of the other people in your community, because where you're from, what you are is all that there is. You are human, yes?
Yes.
How many humans have you seen here? Genuine humans.
Oz is human, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whimsy is no. Whimsy is something closer to human than other people. Sometimes.
I haven't met Whimsy. I hear that she's nice to Oz, so as far as I'm concerned, she must be very pleasant.
She's quite lovely.
I believe you. Now, in the inverse, how many people have you met that are distinctly not?
Everyone else. You,
Everyone.
Jackdaw, Amber, August, Stars, Wren, Bird, everyone.
You want to know why the curse breakers that tried to fix me failed? Other than the fact that they were a bunch of backstabbing snake oil salesman?
Yes.
It's because they use the same rituals you do. And those rituals are designed to help humans. Because in your world, the only people that need help are humans. What I am is almost entirely non-conductive to your rituals. If I went into the lightest, most hands-off purse lifting ritual that you could perform, there's a good chance that it would at least give me a headache. That's me. Consider someone like Lux, who is made entirely out of living wax. Consider somebody like Amber, who is the fusion of two extremely different creatures. Consider someone like Ren or Stars, who is an automaton powered by God knows what.
Yes.
If you try to use the same rituals that you've used in the past on a majority of your community, a good chance you might wind up hurting them instead.
That seems... I agree. I think there's not... Everything that I use here I have to modify in some way. I don't have an issue with that, and though it does take rewriting, I'm not quite so arrogant as to think that it's not necessary.
Then good. All I want in this bargain is to trust you to be a part of this community that I don't need to worry about. As long as you can promise me that you'll go to the efforts to ensure that your work does not harm anybody else, that you truly are as benevolent as you wish to be, then I am more than satisfied.
Do you want that in writing?
As long as we're putting it in writing.
How would I phrase it? Gawain
will actively pursue knowledge and understanding of their fellow community members in order to ensure their safety as curse-breaking practices continue.
Community members Gawain will actively pursue knowledge and understanding of their community members in order
to guarantee the safety of said members in curse-breaking practices.
Members in curse-breaking practices. All right, I have no problem with that.
Oh, perfect. Can I tell you something funny?
Yes?
This bargain is meaningless because I was never going to hurt August physically in the first place. So all we've done is proven to each other that we are at least someone we can trust on the very basic level.
Wouldn't call it useless then.
Hmm.
Though, I mean...
Fair. You were saying?
I was going to give you this to sign. And say that...
I will sign it.
And, the last pages.
I see. I will... that feels weird. I didn't mean to start reading your journal.
I don't have any other paper on me. I'd prefer you just look at the last two pages.
Fair enough. I should have provided you some.
All right.
Hello? I can't hear you.
Hello?
I think your mic is cutting out just a little bit.
Oh no, one sec. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello?
I think I can hear you alright.
Minecraft crashed. Hang on.
Fuck us.
We're not allowed to have a stream that isn't scuffed.
No good streams.
Oh, good streams. Hang on. Minecraft, I'm on my knees, begging and pleading. Moth is threatening to log on.
Uh-oh. Don't do that.
Yeah. To threaten me in person. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Why is Moth threatening you?
because they've been yelling at me to eat for the last because I'm on like
shit.
2 hearts.
Okay.
Oh my god, you were
This is
Steve for a
wildly out
second.
of character, but like. Here
Oh,
you go.
thank you. Because I was like, I didn't want to break the moment by going and.
It's fine. I get it. We all get it. Listen, my character needs to eat. Like, he understands the importance of snack time.
Oh yes.
Okay, so where are we? Oh yes, we've done this contract and whatever.
I'm looking at the pages.
I haven't modified it.
Gawain, Cursebreaker. Where did?
Well, I'm standing on the. Wow, there you go. I was on the tree, literally right behind you. It's fine. I'll come down.
You go first.
In? Oh, okay. Well, I suppose that's all of the unpleasantries out of the way. Is there anything else you have in mind? I have a few more less aggressive questions I'd like to ask you, but I think you've put up with enough from me already.
I do. Actually, I have something in the interest of the community that I think you might want to take a look at. Because
I'm very interested.
If you're you're as well traveled as you say, you may have seen something. You may have seen something like this before, especially if you've been on the bone paths. As soon as I remember where the door out of here is.
You mean the giant one?
Yes, the giant door.
The huge one that you can see from literally like thousands of blocks away?
Yes, the huge door you can see from literally thousands of blocks away.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Just wanted to make sure.
I don't have very good
That
vision.
huge door. No, it's fine.
Have you seen have you been down to I wouldn't have noticed this if I wasn't working on the basement. If I wasn't building.
I haven't been down here. I don't make a business of going into other people's basements. Is that
Yes,
gross?
reasonable. Yes, that's what I've been looking at. There's a looks like the earth is bleeding in some fashion or other.
Wow, that's really not good. Hold on. Let me see if I can go over there. Oh, I fucked myself. Goodbye!
Oh, how? Oh. Jesus.
Oh shit, I'm in Aster's house. Give me a minute.
Yeah, no worries. I have more ender pearls here if... Oh.
Fine, I can help. Oh shit, I teleported you. Well, now we're both stupid.
How did I get here? What is this magic?
Shit. Look. Somebody look at me. Stream director.
Oh fuck. Up this water spout?
God, I don't think it is up this water spout. This water spout doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
How the hell do you get out of here? Damn it.
Oh, we could just, wait, are you spawn set here? Yeah, you're
I'm
spawn set here.
It's fine.
Oh.
What? How about you jump and I'll use the power of movie magic to
excellent,
magically
excellent.
appear.
Yeah, good idea.
I'll use my slasher villain powers.
Where am I? Oh my god, I'm in Jurassic Park. Wait, no, I'm not in Jurassic. Where is this? Oh, I'm on Jackdaw's.
Damn it, this is Jackdaw's house.
Okay, Hang on, I eject out of bed.
Hold on, like, give me that, give me that, give me that. Okay,
Alright, I'm gonna fall again.
yeah, what's this?
Wow, comedy of errors here.
We're really doing a good job.
Dynamic duo.
We're killing it. Anyways, oh look, here we are. And oh my god, the red stuff is right here.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It seems to be. There's a.
Oh,
It's honeycombed throughout the whole interior of the island.
yeah, there's some more growths over here. This is just sort of hanging out of the void. Hold on, I am fighting off the living dead.
They are quite rampant here.
That's for us, yeah. Very dark here. Perhaps this is a side effect of the unfortunate terrain.
The red or the undead?
The undead come from the red.
Oh, that would be. I suppose that would make sense. It looks similar to. There was a growth in one of the villages that I undid. A curse that looked like it was causing the crops to fail. And I'm worried that somebody may have set this, or it has appeared for some similar purpose. It was clearly intentionally set to destroy the community. And it worked, because the community was well gone by the time me and Jackdaw found it.
I'm sorry, something about crops failing, you said?
Yes, there was, the crops, became poisonous, or wouldn't. The only thing that would grow was poison. And there was notes left to that effect, and when we dug down into the soil, there was an enormous root, similar to this, but green. I have samples of it in the waypoint. And it was anchored with a receipt. A bill of sale.
Do you still have the bill of sale?
I burned it it was the thing anchoring the curse.
That was intelligent of you. I do not recognize this. It appears to be some kind of fungal matter, but it's not of any variety I recognize. It has a passing similarity to red forests of the Nether, but it's more
Organic.
fleshy. Yeah. Okay, I've got a sample here. If you,
Excellent.
I think I have your sample that you just took. Tell you what, I don't really like standing on this. How about we go back to the waypoint and you show me the green stuff?
Yes, seems reasonable.
Do you need a pearl?
No, oh wait, actually I have pearls. I just...
Well.
It does seem to encircle the place where we wake up if we die. It does seem to encircle world spawn.
Perhaps it is... Oh, well, this is... Huh.
Are you alright?
This is actually... No, I'm fine. This might actually be good news for me.
Good news.
In a strictly business sense, this might be... Like you said, when we wake up here when we die, so perhaps this is connected to the unusual form of reincarnation on this realm. So
That would make
sense.
sense.
Be a lead. Yeah, this might be a lead into understanding what's been going on with mortality here a bit better.
So there might be consequences to our seemingly merciful response system.
The area the area certainly doesn't seem particularly healthy at the moment.
No.
Tell you what, this might be something worth bringing up to one of our many scientists around us. Perhaps you can collaborate with them to find some sort of occult science answer
Who
to
is
what's going on
who
here.
is the scientist on the server? There's Oz, there's August.
Oz is, yes, there's Oz and August. Those are the two I'm aware of. There's Rats. He appears to be more of an
Rat.
engineer.
I heard some
Um,
strange things about him. I heard that he was threatening someone.
he's harmless. He's just scared. He also needs a bath. The only real threat he poses is to people's noses.
Fair enough. Suppose I shall
Um,
meet him and see.
There's Aster, but they're a big, like, dingbat, so I wouldn't suggest bringing it up to them.
A dingbat.
Um,
Aster. I've heard the name, I think, but I haven't met them.
yeah, they tend to go around kind of just, like, demanding answers and claiming to be, like, looking out for potential threats and being concerned for the community or whatever, but they spend all their time hiding in a hole, in a
A
wall,
hole?
and not talking to people. So, like, imagine a worse version of me, if you can even fathom that.
There's something of a hermit then.
Yeah. Like I said, even worse than me.
Interesting.
So, I have no idea what their actual qualifications as a scientist are. They might be the best scientific mind of the entire server, for all I know. I just know that one thing for certain, and that is that they are very rude.
Well, you aren't exactly polite yourself. You have a pretty difficult time with first impressions. Maybe someone friendlier would have better results.
Fair. That said, I'd bring it up to Oz. Seemed like the only not mad scientist of the server.
I've been meaning to pay them a visit. This is pieces of the curse root that I found.
I see.
Anything familiar to you? I think you've seen before. It seemed a brute force enchantment to my eye. Somebody who was either lazy or not very good at what they were doing. But an effective one. And I've seen hints of similar things in the village by August's lighthouse, with the withering effect, and another one swallowed up by the void.
I have some insight into this.
You do?
I do.
Well,
I would like to ask you a question.
of course.
How would you like our relationship to continue? Would you like this to continue to be something where we make bargains and pick at each other, and criticize each other's every little movement, or would you prefer to exist on genuinely pleasant terms?
I suppose that depends on what your intentions are. Depends on what you mean by setting yourself up as a kind of authority here.
Gawain, I need you to understand something here. I told you last time that I am not a lord. I am not a king. I hold no title.
You do a lot of
And I
speaking
hold...
for lords and kings and things like that. I mean, you seem pretty eager to make an alliance with Lux.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do not myself seek true authority. I seek community, certainly. I seek togetherness. I seek... The reason I want to do all this community stuff is because this is a completely unique situation we've never seen before, and if we do it right, we might wind up with an impossibly idealistic community that would be a pipe dream in any other realm with all of its other baggage. A realm, a community like this could never exist on the Bone Paths. It
That's
certainly
true.
couldn't exist where I'm from.
I've never seen a world that's this uh, beautiful.
No, a lot of people don't call it beautiful.
I mean,
I agree
everything's
with
green and growing.
right. You're very right. That's why I'm doing this. I do not seek any political power. That said, you are right. I am seeking the audience of Lux and Moth. Here's the thing. When I gave Moth the title of community organizer, I did not grant it on any authority of my own. I granted it to them partially because they were having a very rough day, and I thought it would cheer them up, and it has. And partially because they deserve it. Because
Can't
they
argue with
were
that.
a community. Yeah, they were a community organizer before I came along and slapped a name tag on its little dress thing. I like hey, I like to talk, and I like to think that I'm pretty good at talking. And I like to think that I'm pretty good at seeing people's worth most of the time when my own biases get out of the way. Again, my apologies for my overreaction when we first met. So, all I want is to reach for this dream scenario we found ourselves in.
Right.
And I'm trying to find the right people for the job. That's all I really want.
All right. I can respect that. If you want, if we are not going to be picking at each other, as you say, I need you to stop starting every conversation with me as if I should justify my existence, my beliefs, my competence. You give me questions that are clearly tests. And I don't... That's not the way someone treats somebody that they're not claiming to have power over.
Well, I have no defense against that, so I suppose my only option is to acquiesce to your request.
All right. Then if you don't do that, I feel like we can get along. I want to help this community. I want to help the people here. I'm worried about... I think that this world is too good for... It's very beautiful here, and everyone who was here before seems to have died. I think there's a trick somewhere. And there's something that'll hurt us if we don't figure it out.
Perhaps you're right. I'll admit I've almost been treating this like a vacation.
It certainly
But
is idyllic compared to the Bone Paths, which is the only world I've seen before this.
well, I've Listen, I'm not going to say the bone paths are the worst realm I've ever been to, but it's certainly up there. Not to insult you. I just
No, I
mean
know
to
that
be.
our world is ruined.
Listen, the reason I asked you this is because if you had said to me, "No, you're a big jerk, and I don't like you, and I don't want to be anything more than fellow contract holders," um, my asking price for this information would have been a lot higher.
Interesting.
I am still going to need some sort of um, compensation to share this with you, simply because it is of an intensely personal nature.
Interesting. Compensation.
I only want one thing from you. And in fact, I did come here bearing some gifts. So before we get into this deal, have this.
Oh, that's a, a gift.
Consider it an apology for my prior treatment of you.
It's a very handsome gift. Thank you.
I don't do things in halves.
It's certainly true.
Here is my suggestion. I will tell you the extent of my own comfort level, what I know about this. Oh, this is a good cat.
Yes.
Does it have a name?
Its name is Hotspur.
Hotspur.
I haven't
That's nice.
name tagged it yet, but it's to guard the waypoint from creepers.
This is a tree to tell secrets to, right?
It is.
I've been spawning chickens in Jackdaw's basement as a joke.
Oh dear.
There, you've got some collateral.
Well, it's not quite the way we tell trade secrets, but I suppose it works.
Fair enough. Here's my proposal.
All right.
I will tell you as much as I am comfortable telling you, and I promise that the information will be helpful. In exchange,
right.
I wish to take one thing out of this room, of my choice.
One thing. Curious. From the chests as well, or from the room itself?
Let's
Shit.
Sweet golly gee.
Oh,
Ow.
sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, that's my deal. Are you willing to take the risk? Because I'm taking a risk on telling literally anybody this information.
Yes, there are things in this. Yes. Take what you like. Moth told me that if I put bushes under carpet here, it would keep the zombies out.
I think it's just the vines.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Either way. These are extended, rotten versions of a plant called the famine root. It grows from the signature hex of a very specific individual.
Hang on.
You said that you found
Famine
a
root.
receipt in the core of this growth, yes?
Yes.
You aren't wrong. He is rather lazy when he plants one of these.
He.
His name is Hezekiah Stockpile.
Hezekiah
He
Stock.
was... He was a fellow merchant who I traveled with for a time. I believed him to be of astounding character, and I was incorrect.
All
This
right.
man is the reason that I am so cursed.
He cursed you.
When we parted ways, we were at odds about a idealistic change in our business strategy. I wanted to stop him from doing something destructive, so I will starve if left alone.
Hang on, say that again.
He made it so I will starve if I am alone. I am compelled to be with others at all times, or else I will simply not find a way to have food, and I will starve painfully until I die.
It's a proximity thing?
There's a very specific way that I need to obtain food. It is, as you may be able to guess, for commerce.
I
I need to
see.
buy food. If I do not buy food, it is ash in my mouth. If I do not have money, I will starve.
Interesting. That's... I haven't run into curses with that kind of mechanism before. But that's... The one in the village was also set up with the trappings of commerce.
He has a predisposition to starvation when he's angry. That is the situation.
That's quite cruel.
You are correct.
I'm sorry that that happened.
It's fine. I have learned to live with it. So I
So
have learned to live
he's
with it.
capable of things that aren't so blunt then.
I imagine that he was unsatisfied with whatever dealings he had with the people of that village, and before he left town, crumpled up a receipt, stuck his hand in the ground, put a tiny little spin of magic on it, and sent them all to their deaths. And then he just left.
Never looked back.
Intended to do.
That's... What exactly did he sell? What did he deal in? What do you deal in?
Coffins?
Right, funeral director.
Yeah. At least nowadays.
Did you have a lot of shared customer base?
I suppose so. He sold food. He sold extravagant food. He's perhaps the greatest cook in the realms. And he had a way of amassing great quantities of food in a short span of time. He could feed a nation, an army, in a matter of days.
Truly.
And yeah, his power is pretty incredible.
So
I won't lie.
it wasn't an ordinary, not a mundane merchant then.
No, a similar slant to me.
You're not a mundane funeral director.
No, you may have noticed, I don't have any skin on my face.
I mean, August has horns. That doesn't mean that they can do magic.
Can they do magic?
I mean, no, they don't believe in magic.
I don't mean to disappoint you, but that is most of what I'm comfortable sharing.
All right. Well, that means he's
and
been
I were close.
here to Haven.
He's likely somewhere out there.
He's one of us. Or he was
Well,
here
that-
before.
he-
Before Haven
There's a
became
good
as it
chance.
is.
I don't know. I don't wish to ponder that. He is not here, and if he was here, he would have found me and harmed me
So he's
more directly. So,
interesting. Definitely a threat.
at least to me.
It's
So,
a threat to any community he does dealings with, it seems.
that's true. That's very true. I don't.
Did he do the other
I need you
village
to-
then too?
I doubt it. Look, Gawain, I need you to understand. I haven't told anybody this.
About Hezekiah.
I haven't spoken to it with anybody for the past 15 years, ever since he left. So,
And you're
am
telling
really
me.
Consider it a show of faith.
Well,
And also a necessary warning, I guess, since he's apparently able to do this to villages around here.
Yes. Have to make sure that he doesn't do it to this one.
Yes, we do.
I'll
I
keep.
hope you aren't offended by me not answering any more questions, and also the fact that I keep accidentally interrupting you. I'm very sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. It's not. It's a lot of information. You can expect from me the same confidence that I keep with everybody as a curse breaker. It's not my. I would like to be able to warn other people about this person, or that there is somebody who. I was thinking of it as potentially a relic of whatever Haven was before it was altered or broken. And hoping that these curse matters wouldn't be applicable here. I mean, wouldn't be something that would pop up to harm us, is what I'm saying. But if he's an active force, I would like to be able to warn people to keep an eye out at least. But I'm not going to. Your curses are your own business. It would be a break with my everything that makes me who I am to tell other people, if that's what you're asking of me.
Feel free to tell people that there is a potential threat. I don't wish to get into it, but the last time I saw him, I don't think he's going to be active. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I'd appreciate it if you didn't bring up the name with anybody, and if you didn't tell anybody I was associated with him, and that you, as you say, let me keep my curse to myself, if that's all right.
I can do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you don't think that... Do you think that he could have anything to do with whatever's taken root under Spawn?
No.
No.
He detests the color red. He's very specific about that.
Why? Any particular?
He has a certain you may have noticed a specific color that dominates my palette.
Purple.
Yes. In the same way that I am purple, he is green. Um, I don't. I haven't spoken with anybody red in a long time. Um, but it couldn't be him. He deals only in green.
Do magics have color associations in your place of origin? Because red is protection in mine.
Perhaps whatever is there is protecting us.
That's a new slant. I hadn't
It
thought
is
of that.
associated with the thing keeping us alive.
That's true. I suppose it was such an alarming. It has such an alarming appearance that
It does look icky.
it's rather. It just looks like something's bleeding. It looks like it shouldn't be exposed to air.
No, it looks like viscera, if you will.
Huh.
All right. I think I have offered a great deal of information to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Would you mind if I took my side of the bargain now?
I'm very curious what you'll take.
I'll replant it. Either way.
You could have you could have taken that for free. It's open for anyone to take.
Interesting. Well, I guess I've made fun of you for striking a meaningless bargain, and now you get to do the same.
Well, the fair's fair. Though I am curious. It is leading me to some curious new questions. But I will keep them to myself for now.
Yeah.
Questions on questions.
Either way, this has been therapeutic in a way, I guess. To tell somebody about that, but yeah, please don't tell anybody about that, or else I will be very upset and we will not be friends anymore.
I won't tell anyone. I promise.
Thank you. I will keep you updated if I gain any new information that I'm willing to share.
Please do.
And let's keep our agreement in mind. I will not harm Argist. You will not harm people in this community through ignorance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
It does.
Well, I think we've come to an equitable decision. I have one last question. Since the Netherwart thing is apparently not a big deal, have you seen somebody by the name of Reese?
Reese, didn't they leave a sign? No, it was somebody left a sign asking where they were by the front of Haven's message board.
I've been looking for this person for a while now. They are by and far the most evasive individual on the server.
Me and Jackdaw have been working on a system that will send out broadcasts to as closest to the edges of the server as we can get to see. After Sylph appeared, I started to worry about people being trapped out there, people not knowing how to find our community.
Yeah. So, I mean, I found Sylph when I was looking for Reese, so you're definitely on the right track there.
But so far we haven't found anything new from those efforts.
Well, thank you very much anyways.
Why are you looking? Oh, they're the person that Aster's help is contingent on.
Yes. Listen, I won't lie to you. As you may have guessed, my primary goal is to get all of the loose individuals in a functioning state to be part of this community. And Aster is, like I mentioned, a bit hermit-like, I guess.
Yes. Where do they live? Somewhere? Do they take calls?
Uh,
It
they
seems
have
that
a
I
hidden house.
should look for scientists.
Don't look. Don't just go to Oz. Oz will help you. Oz is really nice and smart.
They are.
Don't listen. Listen. You've had enough to deal with from me. You don't need more obnoxious people in your life. Listen, I'm not going to pretend to be anything I'm not. Um. Well, thank you, anyways. I will continue my search.
Right. Good luck.
Oh, thank you very much. And you know, just just keep an eye out for um weird. It's strange. All of this green is very nice, but it still kind of makes my skin crawl. You know what I mean?
As if an association with harmful magics. I'll keep my eyes open.
Oh, thank you. I will do the same. Have a pleasant evening, Gawain.
You as well. Were you listening to that? Ghost. Of course you were. That was the sort of conversation that you would... that always drove you up the wall when it was autocrats and minor lords. That's why you kept me around. I wasn't quite a silver tongue, but I had more patience for it than you did, I think. He's been to our world. He knows of the bone paths. It's strange to think there's thousands and thousands of, well, I don't know, dozens? Many worlds out there, and that just don't suffer the way that we don't scrounge for every inch. He thinks he's better than everyone else. He thinks he can create something good. Well, is it one or is it the other? I think both are true. He does think he's better than everyone else. And I think he would continue to. He's got that kind of arrogance that's dangerous. He's not the only one here, but he's certainly the only one who's using it like that. Especially, he's seen what magics can do to a world if he's seen the bone paths. It seems like a trick. This is what I do anyway. This is not a difficult agreement to make. In some ways, he was treating me like an apprentice, a child.